The history of library can be traced back to 2600 BC. The history of academic libraries mirrors the development of higher education implies a process of growth, assimilation, and diversification. The emergence of library had a tremendous impact on society. The role of library has evolved as the priorities of the institutions, schools, universities have evolved. Ben White 2012 stated that libraries are the gateway to knowledge and culture. Libraries play a fundamental role in society. The resources and services they offer create opportunities for learning, support literacy and education, and help shape the new ideas and perspectives that are central to a creative and innovative society. They also help to ensure authentic record of knowledge created and accumulated by past generations. In a world without library, it would be difficult to advance research and human knowledge or preserve the words accumulative knowledge and heritage for future generations. Moreover, libraries become vital to our human needs as we progress and develop our minds to be critical thinkers and knowledgeable enough to provide satisfactions. Furthermore, academic libraries have a huge impact on how students view the society. Through helping every student access information and tools that they need for their academic requirements, such as providing vital information for the review of related literature, RRL for their research, thesis, and dissertation, etc. Indeed, libraries are the backbone of knowledge that we gain through various ways.
The history of academic librarianship is still significant in our society. Why is that? It's because we are now living in a world where individuals, organizations, especially educational institutions, are confronted with an ever-growing load of information and content. At the same time, this also results to an increase in the demands for skills and knowledge to someone who will be responsible for this duty. So in order for us to cope with this, the crucial role of academic librarianship will now enter the picture. All of our academic librarians went through the thorough process of academic librarianship, and it was established to meet the demand in information consumption. Academic librarians must acquire and use their new skills and knowledge to deploy this in new and adaptive ways to make their profession more relevant, and to successfully respond to the faculty, students, administrators, and other campus stakeholders. To make this happen, academic librarianship will equip the librarians in linking contents, knowledge, and learning to make it more accessible, interactive, and usable over time inside an academic setting. This leads to the conclusion that we have to acknowledge the rapid modernization and on how it leads to the growing demand for information. So our need for capable and competent academic librarians that are trained under academic librarianship is also becoming urgent even more. So again, the answer is definitely yes. The history of academic librarianship's establishment is still and will always be significant in today's society and its future. That is, if we really want to make the pursuit of knowledge more purposeful in every academic institution.
How does the past academic librarianship affects the present academic librarianship? Past academic librarianship becomes the foundation of the present academic librarianship. They become the trial and error for theories and practices, which helps present academic librarianship to transform and be more responsive to the needs of students and faculties. Moreover, academic library mirrors the development of colleges. They suffered or prospered to its value to the college. For better understanding of this question, we have interviewed a former academic librarian, Ma'am Wilma P. Gallardo. According to her, the profession of librarianship in the past serves as the result of the increase in number of libraries being created. Academic librarianship is generally recognized as a professional occupation as the need for more librarians, the demographics in terms of the workforce were transformed. Academic libraries is continue to be growing, living, and evolving. Librarians are trained to be the professionals who develop literacy and 21st century information skills among students. Moreover, students may venture to the library less for researching but more for making, trying, and collaborating in a common place.
The past affects the present librarianship by setting standards for the future. It is a natural process to innovate, and in order to do that, we must know and learn from the past. The past achievements and mistakes contribute to what librarianship is now by being the guide towards better work. The established role of librarianship in our society give the present librarianship the foundation towards modernization. This modernization will continue to evolve and eventually will be a past.
Academic libraries, public libraries, school libraries, and special libraries are similar in a way that they exist to connect people to the information they need. The goal of an academic library is to not only gather, but also to organize, conserve, and make knowledge easily available to people. So the academic library's first and most important duty above all others is to assist students, professors, and other academic staff in their educational pursuits. Academic library serves an essential role in higher education's fundamental research missions and advancement. So this library provides resources for studying, teaching, research, and other educational activities. Because of the current change and the rise of technology around the world, academic libraries provide not only physical books but also digital resources such as e-journals and e-books, as well as databases and other materials to meet people's information demands.
When the COVID-19 pandemic struck the world, libraries were not an exception from adapting to the digital world. It is also worth noting that libraries must be able to provide service to their clients continuously. During the pandemic, they still play the same roles and functions. However, the modes of services or the mode of delivery have changed due to the limitations and barriers set by the COVID-19 pandemic. I would highlight here the two roles and functions of the academic library during the pandemic, and we have number one, the formal roles, and number two, the social roles. The formal roles include their service to the information seekers, which are mainly the faculty and staff of the university or the institution or the colleges, the students, and even the teachers, and facilitating research on COVID-19. For the information seekers, we have their service to the students, and it is done by providing free access to the ebooks stored in their digital library. It could also be through the OPAC or the online open access catalog, which is what our institution or Philippine Normal University is doing. The academic library also has the students' contact information such as their email addresses, and from their email addresses, from there, they will circulate the online or web resources that are crucial and relevant to their studies. From their email addresses, the students could also contact the academic library and request books they need for their studies. Researchers, particularly those who are pursuing PhD or master degree, are also among the most affected. The library offers its services the same way as the students, such as providing the academic library's email addresses, obtain the researcher's email address, and from there, the latter will request or be provided by the information they need for their research. Some academic libraries also open access to their journals and periodicals online. Along with librarians, due to online or distance mode of learning, teachers are also the one whom parents and students approach for additional information in their modules or in their learning materials. Academic libraries play a role by informing the teachers of the online resources that could be used by the students, researchers, and even the teachers themselves. Under formal roles, we also have the research regarding COVID-19, and the scientists can be allowed to access the web sources, all materials that are provided by the academic libraries through the online mode. The access to various paid research journals purchased by the libraries should also be shared with the scientists who have been pursuing research in the field of COVID 19. And lastly, we have the academic library's social roles. Before the pandemic, the academic libraries used to be a haven for students to research, read, and even study. They used to be a place of convenience also for researchers, but however, with the pandemic, it changed, but that doesn't mean that the library could not still be a haven. They could still be, however, it is true in some other forms. For instance, they could help decrease the fear of mongering by disseminating factual information about COVID-19. It could include preventive measures such as washing hands and using masks, and even maintaining social distancing. And the academic library could also include facts about immunity. They could still be a haven to the community by providing inspirational stories about survival and even motivational speakers. In that way, the people's spirits and morale would be uplifted.
The world is a vast place filled with an overwhelming volume of history, culture, and lessons. It continues to grow beyond what the human mind can comprehend and contain. However, no matter how limitless global knowledge becomes, it can be stored somewhere organized and well kept, on the shelves of a library. Libraries today serve as gateways to enlightenment. They provide research guidance, literacy promotion, and creative outlets. In every book stacked in a library, there is a piece of learning that is secured for credibility. Many argue that libraries are outdated and that the web is now its freer and more liberated version. However, a library is more than just a structure. It can now be online. With the rise of virtual libraries, it is now possible to create a space for fact-checked and screened information without drowning much in the information epidemic of random data online. Libraries, either traditional or virtual, play an important role in respecting the sanctity of genuine information. Perhaps when you are missing the texture of a good book or just looking for a trustworthy reference, any library door would be open to cater you with knowledge that transcends more than just reading. A library's role to society, as well as its fundamental functions, mirror each other in the sense that it centers information above everything else. It reserves a place where mankind can always flip a few pages back and be reminded of both history and humanity. A library is a home that brings us back to times we may have forgotten, then pushes us back to the world with newfound lessons we can carry for a lifetime.